Yeah. It's just like my Uncle Mark.
Does he?
Yeah.
Just like Aunt Carolita.
Welcome to Conscious Living here at the Specially Produce Network. We are so glad you're here to support your lifestyle with the fastest growing resource for conscious families. So sit back, relax, connect, and enjoy. Hello, everyone. Welcome to Conscious Living. I'm live here in San Diego, California at the Specially Produce Network, and I'm so excited to introduce our guests of today, Andy and Carolyn Arnold of Little Rock, Arkansas, sharing about Andy's chairs. Welcome, guys. So glad you're here.
We are very excited to be here.
Yes.
Well, welcome, Andy and Carolyn. Andy, I'm so excited to share your chairs and what you do to create them. Would you share with us for just a moment about what inspired you to paint and make chairs of healing and inspiration?
Yeah, sure.
So what is it that led you to that, buddy? What's your story? How did you get started? Was it the day that I said to you, as I was painting myself, because I'm an artist, and I looked at him, and there was an opportunity after he graduated to make a choice to just, play video games or do something very productive, because I knew he was extremely talented and very gifted and the social butterfly of the earth. So I said, Andy, here, take this paintbrush and paint that chair. Remember that? Yeah.
Wow.
Yep. And then you started to get ideas when he would paint them. You'd go, this one needs to be named. Do you remember the name of your first chair?
Joy.
Was it Joy?
Yes.
The Joy chair.
Wow, the joy chair. Wow, what color did that look like?
Oh my gosh, you want to tell about that, Lovey?
Hard to explain.
That's the one that went to Cook Children's.
Yes.
Wow.
So share about that. That is not a train going through our studio.
That's a train going right by Specially Produce Network. It's amazing you can hear it.
Train in the background, but not a train.
Yep, the train of joy and love is going through the studio and sharing with us, right? All the joy that was created. So tell us a little bit about that, Andy. You were born, and I'm a neonatal intensive care nurse, so I know a lot about stories about infants who have to spend a little bit of time before they go home in those environments.
Yeah. You want to share about that?
Yes. I was in the hospital 21 days.
21 years ago.
Yeah.
But you were in there for 7 days.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Yeah.
At Cook Children's Hospital.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
And I decided to do a chair for them. So Channel 11 was there, and Miss Jennifer from Channel 11, she interviewed me there while I was at Cook Children and
delivering the chair.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, delivering the chair, and I give them back.
Oh. Wow, that's so beautiful. So you gave back the chair. You gave back to them, giving them a chair of joy, maybe hope and healing to everyone who sits in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think it's a special chair too. Did you describe it was a rocking chair?
Yes, it was the big,
Yes. Yes. Yep. It was a big rocking chair.
very
So,
colorful,
so
right?
parents could bring their infants and rock in the chair of joy.
Yes. And whatever.
Oh,
Yes. And whatever we just, as I said before, I said, everyone sit in this chair, you will feel joy. You will feel happiness. That's where it comes from.
And I just said to Andy, I said, Andy, honey, if you did not have that already in yourself, you could not impart that into your work. So,
exactly.
because when it was placed right across from the chapel, and when you're in a hard place, and really when you go to a children's hospital, you go there because your kid is sick, you know. And
Yeah.
so when you go find that comfort and that peace, go sit right outside in the rocking chairs, or you go inside and the chapel is right there, and that's where they placed his rocking chair. So if you're in Fort Worth and you go to Cook Children's Hospital, check it out, because Andy's chair is there. He made it for you so you could sit in it and experience joy instead of hurt, right, baby?
Yeah.
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 The
Yeah.
pain and suffering we experience sometimes when we're in a hospital, that physical, emotional, mental, and even spiritual.
Yeah.
Yes.
Exactly. And I know how those mamas and daddies feel because
Yes,
I
you
was
do.
there for, I sure do.
And you raised such a beautiful young man, and we're
Oh,
so
thank you.
excited to express his
Thank
joy and love that he brings to the world.
Thank you. He's really, really special.
Yeah, so share with us just for a moment, what chair are you sitting in right now?
I'm sitting right now. It's called the peacock chair.
The peacock chair. Wow.
Yes. Yeah. Because I decided. I was asking my mom. So I just want to do another chair, and I just want to do a a a peacock chair with our dots. And so yeah.
Wow. A peacock
Yeah.
Yeah.
chair. A peacock chair. Share with us, what does that mean? A peacock chair.
In all dots.
And
And
all
he came out of
dots.
the blue. We finished one chair, and so out of the blue he comes to me and he says, I want to do this peacock chair. And I'm going, oh my gosh, that's amazing. He just must have, I mean, the Lord must have really had inspired him with this, because just out of the blue, and Andy is like that. He'll get an inspiration and then
Wow.
he'll tell me, and then I'll go, oh my gosh, what are you seeing as far as the design of this chair? And we'll collaborate, on the design.
Right.
And so anyway, we have this massive rocking chair. It's 50 pounds plus probably, and
Wow.
it's huge. And so we agreed this is what this peacock is going to be on. And so Andy has got this wonderful technique that he does all dots, or he does swirls. And what do the swirls represent, Ange?
Uh, uh, I've been doing galaxies.
They're like galaxies, swirls of the galaxy. What is that shape of the snail that goes around like that? What is that shape called? And you see it all over in nature, where it swirls like a galaxy, like a snail shell. It's got a particular name. And so he's been implementing that in all of his new chairs now that he's finding his style, kind of his brand. He's beautiful. So you want to talk more about the peacock chair, Lovey?
Um, I don't know.
You don't know? Well, the colors are phenomenal. It's done in rich blues, and the just the deep, gorgeous colors of a peacock. And so this is a neat thing, because everything, when Andy does the chair, he always names it. And then he always gets a scripture to go with it, or he always gets some kind of revelation about the chair.
Wow.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah,
So,
to me, that swirl really represents a lot of different aspects in nature. And in my
mhm.
heart, it represents eternity, right? That
Yeah.
love and joy for eternity.
Well, that's really cool, because you know what, Andy, it says in the word that he put eternity in our hearts. And that's just cool because of that, just the swirl, just like you were talking about, Ashley.
Yeah.
It's just, it's stunning. And it also represents eyes too. and so we talked about that this morning too, and all the different aspects of what this chair can mean. And we're not really entirely finished with it as far as the meaning of it. And that could probably also go to the person who purchases it, of which it is up for sale.
Oh, that's so beautiful. And I love the idea of peacock too, right? Because peacock represents the beauty. The bird just feathers out all her feathers or his feathers, right? And shows the beauty that nature presents to us and the
Yeah.
vibrancy and the colors and just that energy or that feeling and that sense of knowing and standing in your power, right? Standing in your purpose, standing in what you call no limits. Would you
Mm-hmm.
share with us a little bit about your ideas of what no limits mean?
It means to. It means to just be yourself.
Be
Uh,
yourself.
yeah. No limits, which means you can only be what God wants you to be.
No limits in that, because it's Andy was raised with a house where we believed in no limit, because when he was born 21 years ago with Down syndrome, doctors had already said that he would be limited and he would not be able to do this and not be able to do that. Well, Andy's daddy and I, we didn't agree with that.
Yeah.
We said, no, Jesus heals everything. So we're going to keep moving forward. And so all through school, he was always implemented in regular classes. And then when he got to high school, Mr. Popular, right?
Yeah.
Cool things happen for you there.
Yeah. I love my. I love my. I love my career there, and I won prom king.
He won prom king,
Yeah.
and you deserve it.
Yeah. I did.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Yes. And so everything that he has done, he had two advocates, his mom and his dad, that helped him live in that no limits. Because when he was in junior high, right? Remember, what would you wear to school?
Uh, a shirt, tie, and a suit.
Because he always saw himself in the future, Ashley, having his own business.
And here he is today, 21 years young and a CEO of
Yes.
his own
That's CEO.
company.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. With vision for the future, right, Lovey?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And
There's
what
things
is
you
your
want to do.
vision? What is your vision for the future?
Talk about speaking.
Yes, I'm doing speaking engagements.
Wow.
Yeah, yeah, I'm doing speaking. Yes, I'm doing speaking engagements across the world,
Uh,
across the. Yes.
That's his vision. Can we share a little bit, Ashley, about where he's been with that?
Please, that would be beautiful.
Okay, this is really exciting because this is something that really excites you. Andy loves to do no limits.
T-shirts.
Chairs for schools, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
So he's done several for high schools and where they have purchased them. And then back to his old high school, Andy gave one as a gift, right?
Yeah.
And so it was no limits. It was done in the school colors. Always the school spirit chairs are done in the school colors. And it says no limits on it because you want your high school to have no limits, right?
Exactly.
And so, yeah. And so, anyway, then the doors would just open for Andy to be able to speak because they would say, will you come and tell us about how you started to do this and how you live with no limits? Because kids need to hear that, right?
They sure
So that's
do.
what he did.
Yeah. My heart's desire. I want desire to teach kids on how you live with no limits, and I would talk to them or my parents because I want all the. I want the gathering do some groups with doing speaking with kids um, about about with no about with no limits
And also to parents too, because when he says, Mom, you need to do this or whatever, and I'm going, oh my gosh, Andy, you're right. I'm so sorry. And so he said to me one time, he said, Mom, don't put limits, and then oh my goodness. And then I remember the times that we would go and speak And he would stand up there with such authority and he would say, parents, don't put limits
on your children. Be what God wants you to be.
because sometimes, can I just be honest, Ashley? At
Please.
times when you have a child born that may have some special needs, you may think in your own mind what that child can and cannot do, but really, for example, like Andy, I want to have my own business someday. And so, if we can be really honest, when he would come downstairs dressed to go to school in a suit day after day after day, this mama would get a little embarrassed. I'm going, oh my gosh, Andy. And then I would have to go, small thinking, Carolyn. He's 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 framing his future. He
Yes.
sees what God wants him to be. He's framing it. Let him be it. Let him do it. You be his biggest cheerleader, his advocate. And so, that's before there was ever any Andy's chairs. That was the dream that was in him. And I put limits with my mindset. So no limits for Carolyn. And so parents, don't put limits on your children. It starts here first.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And what we think is normal or typical, it can sometimes be confined or suppressed. And what
Yes.
if kids all over the globe, no matter when their passion enters their heart, enters their mind, enters their body, that they
Yeah.
can start to express that coming forward? And
Yeah.
whenever their passion really comes inside, yes, allow them to be that full expression
Yes.
with no
Absolutely.
limits.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Thank you, Andy, for sharing that. Really, I mean, that is really it. I'm going to do it. Hashtag no limits. Here we
Yeah.
go.
And Ashley, sometimes you just need someone to give you permission. It's like,
Absolutely.
I give you permission to live with no limits. Now, what does that do to your mindset when somebody says that? All of a sudden, you start thinking, right?
It's
Yeah,
huge.
oh, yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yes.
So
It's
we give
huge. And
all of you permission today to live with no limits.
Mm-hmm.
absolutely everyone living with no limits and wearing suits and ties to school, knowing you're going to be a business
Yeah.
leader and
Yes.
Yeah.
entrepreneur and do it. It's like it's exciting.
Yeah. And change your world. What's your hash? What's another one of your hashtags besides hashtag no limits? Changing what?
Chasing my road one step at a time.
That's right.
Changing
And
changing one day at a time.
Changing your world one chair at a
uh,
time. That's what he wants to do. Change
Changing
my
your
world.
world one chair at a time. Wow.
yeah.
I mean,
I
why do
love it.
something unless it changes your world, right?
That's right. That's right. I'm so excited and I love that peacock chair you're sitting on. That's just amazing because really the peacock, right, is proud to wear its colors, to
Mm-hmm.
show its
Mm-hmm.
true nature, to be God's expression, right?
Yes.
And what if that pride is a pride of ownership,
Yes.
responsibility,
Exactly.
accountability, integrity?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
And what if
Exactly.
that's a beautiful thing to sit in, to sit on, and to express in our world?
Exactly.
I
Yes.
love it. I
Absolutely.
love it. I will never look at a peacock differently than today. It's just
Same with
beautiful,
us. Same with us.
right?
It's
And
just
and the
awesome.
healing inside of that, right? And what we can
Yeah.
heal. And would you share for just a few moments, Andy, about how in your painting and you're really getting, divine inspiration to
Mm-hmm.
create inside the paint, inside the chair, that healing metamorphosis that can occur when people sit in your chairs.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Um,
Do you want to give an example? Well, can we give an example on a chair? Is that so? For example, he did a chair that we did for. We had a fundraiser for disabled veterans, right? And he got a vision for a chair. You want to share that vision?
yes, it's from Isaiah 55:5. Because I uh I did the on a chair. It says by his uh by, yes, thank you. Uh uh I am healed, or we are, or I am healed. So I put that on a chair, and
I'm sitting right next to the chair. I wish I could show it to you.
Yeah.
So what did you want it to look like? Because it was very powerful chair. When you told me the vision for the chair in its entirety, I'm going, oh my gosh, it's amazing. And then there's something really cool I have to share with you about this.
And the word is called sacrifice.
The name of the chair is Sacrifice.
Sacrifice. Wow.
For our disabled veterans. And I found the perfect chair. I had to go out and buy it. And it was a physician's chair from his office. And I thought, oh my gosh. I said, Andy, I have to go get this chair because there's already healing in the chair. It came from a doctor's, his own personal chair.
Wow.
And so then he painted it. It's on our website, and it's also on his Facebook.
Yeah.
And it looks like a flag, red, white, and blue.
Yeah.
And then I
Oh,
did
that
the
is
calligraphy
so
on
beautiful.
the chair.
Honoring our disabled veterans.
Yes. And then the
Wow.
scripture on there. So it was, the whole thing just breathed healing. And because Andy has got authority in that, because he's been healed of so much, he's got the right to put it in his chairs to be released for whomever.
Absolutely.
So it was an honor, wasn't it, to do that chair?
Mm.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, beautiful, right? All of the healing and I really think all of the kids and the parents at Cook's Children's also, and what they get to receive from sitting in your chair, and that joy and that hope and that understanding and that healing is possible and open for everyone to receive.
Yes. We're honored that it's there.
Oh, it's so beautiful. And what would you like to share with everyone, Andy, before we close today? What's your biggest takeaway that you would like to share with everyone about your chairs?
They're awesome.
They're awesome. That's for sure. They're awesome, and they have no limits, right? No limits of healing, no limits of joy. It's completely abundant and eternal.
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, thank you so much. And everyone can get to know where Andy is. He's in Little Rock, Arkansas. He creates these chairs special and puts his own special healing and presence inside of these chairs for you to experience. And you can reach them on their website at andyschairs.com.
Yes.
Yes, or mine too. My website.
Well, that is andyschairs.com, but then also your Facebook and Instagram, right, buddy?
Yep.
Wow. All right. Well, we'll look on social media for you as well. And we're so excited you joined us here today. And everyone, please give Andy a round of applause. He did a beautiful job sharing his joy and his passion today.
Thank you so much.
Thank
It's
you,
an honor.
everyone.
Thanks. No limits. And peace out.
Thank you all for listening to this podcast. We are so grateful for you tuning in and experiencing the innovations and opportunities we all can incorporate into our daily lives. Connect with us at centerforconsciouskids.com to sign up for the latest news that showcases these revolutionary services and products. Our global website provides families with an online conduit for enrichment and transformation in all our lives. Please share with other kids and families who would enjoy these advancements in living consciously. I'm Ashley Lee, and I thank you so much for joining us.